Hey y'all. Hey, what's up? What's going on? How are y'all doing this Friday? My name is Diamond. We do a live show here every Friday at 7 o'clock. Today's topic is going to be the corporatization of pride and all this money and spending that the corporations are doing to pander for the queer folks' money. How is everybody doing today? Now, YouTube, you was acting silly. Okay, great. Hey, Deneen, how are you? Hey, Ready Rock. Hey, Darnell. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Slick. You know what? You was just thinking about it. You know, the Bible said that the Spirit maketh intercession, baby. The Spirit will tell the Lord what you need, even if you don't know what you're praying for. With moaning and groaning, baby, the Spirit will deliver. Ha! Glory. Y'all know I'm not a Christian. But y'all know I grew up in the culture church, so sometimes you got to let them know. Oh, gosh. I always gag when you pull out the old nasty scripture. Honey, they indoctrinated it in us, baby. I can snatch it. Honey, it's seared in my brain. It's crazy. You know what's crazy is that is literally indoctrination. I swear to God, man. That shit is crazy because I'll be just out and somebody will say something and I will pull out a scripture because I know this is what you're supposed to say. This is what the Christians would say. This is what the church folks would give an amen to. And it'll just pop up in my brain. Yep, the Bible says. And I'm like, girl, the Bible also says. The Bible also says. Some foolishness. The Bible also says, honey, if a nigga rape you, you gotta marry his motherfucking ass. Fuck that bullshit. In Deuteronomy, in case you didn't know. Oh, thank you, Ty. I feel cute today. I feel cute. I feel like with this body, I feel like, honey, a lesbian. Woo. Them scriptures be low key reads though, depending on the Christian. Oh, absolutely. Always. You Christians are the best. First, I say this all the time. Kojic queers are the best lovers. And Kojic old women are the best readers, baby, because they know how to read you nice, nasty. Fat Kojic women. They know how to read you nice, nasty. With scripture and tone, baby. Y'all like my shirt? Can y'all hear me good? I got a new mic stand. Y'all see? Instead of it being way over here, and I have to put it over here. But can y'all hear me good? Everything is copacetic in regards to the sound. I have a I see my shirt. It says, "Gimme a glucose guardian." This the gender neutral sugar daddy. Glucose guardian, because you know the studs and the lesbians be sugar daddies too. So you gotta give them a you gotta give them a gender neutral name. Give me a glucose guardian. I got this shirt from Queer Walk. Money and Nikita, rest in peace. I put Nikita, she passed away. I talked about it. I put her on my wall for all the folks who have passed away. Y'all know this Monica Roberts right there when she was young and doing activist policy work. But yes, this is Nikita and Money from Queer Walk. This is um their merchandise, and I loved it. One of their episodes they were talking about getting a glucose guardian because they needed a gender neutral. So I love it. It's my signature. My dumbass thought you were repping something for diabetes awareness. honey, honey, ham hock. Y'all see this? You know how that meme say, if a bitch got this kind of elbow, she know how to cook. I ain't coming to your house to eat unless the cook got one of them elbows. Y'all see this is turning into one of them elbows, honey. Cause I'm a bitch that can burn in the kitchen. So it's turning into one of them old auntie grandma elbows. This is before it actually happened. It's coming. You see that kind of curvature right there coming. It's coming, baby. Understand. That's all you need to know about diabetes. I love it. Oh my God. So, how is everybody's weekend? We're going to get into the conversation. I know if you're new here, we give about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes just to chit chat and shoot the shit. Then we get into the conversation. If you're old here, you know how we do. Oh, Coach's mother makes you want to jump them after the service. Right. But you be a little scared because you don't really know if Jesus is going to show up with the disciples. Right. Exactly. Hey, Stephanie. How are you? Stephanie Williams is the host of Mocha Minutes. Put your links up, Stephanie. Man, I've been drinking a lot of damn room temperature water lately because I got a whole like big old case over there by the door. I had brought the groceries in and had put that case over there, and baby, I put the groceries up and looked at that case and said, girl, we is not putting you up. We gonna sit you right over there. We ain't gonna put you in the refrigerator at all. And honey, she has been they have been over there. So all the water I've been drinking has been but I've been guzzling it, so it's been good. And I usually get these little things sometimes. If I'm tired of just drinking regular water, I'll just put a little something in there. And it gives it a little color and a little flavor. And this kind right here is strawberry lemonade crystal light. They are not what the YouTubers say. This is not a sponsored video. Y'all know them hoes ain't sponsoring no motherfucking tranny shit. I know it's June, but it ain't that deep. I know they giving the white gays money. They ain't giving the black gays money. I thought she was talking about diabetes too. Diamond, did you ever give your thoughts on Patrice Cullors, the Black Lives Matter activist with the $1 million homes? I'm conflicted with the responses people are giving. So I didn't talk about that because I'm kind of biased. I'm friends with Patrice and I am friends with Alicia. I'm not cool with Opal like that. Not anything negative, but I don't fuck with her. That sounds negative. I don't really know Opal like that, but I'm cool with Patrice and I'm cool with Alicia. And I am a community leader, a ED of organization. And so there's a perspective that I have that may make me biased. And also I'm a bitch that feel like people should be able to buy shit and take care of their family because please know that if I ever come across some type of money, I'm not going to exploit community for no money. But if I ever come across some type of money, ain't none of my motherfucking friends and my people going to be in the hood. They ain't going to be raggedy. They going to be in their own shit. They not going to be living struggling while I'm over here high off the hog getting my life. So I want to tell y'all that now. If Diamond ever come up on some type of money, she is going to take care of her people, and it ain't gonna be no raggedy shit that we have. It might not be no million shit. I feel like that may be a little bit excessive, but my folks is gonna be taken care of if I'm taken care of. So I'm a little biased. Um, I don't believe in exploiting. You not don't believe it. I'm not exploiting money for community. So if I'm a part of an organization, long as I'm taking care of a community, I can use my earned money on that I'm being paid for starting this whole big ass global movement. I can use my money for whatever the fuck I want to use it in. Um, Now there are some honest critiques. Um, I don't know about. I don't think I would buy a home that was not in a low income place. I can't really say I would do that because I would want my tax money to go to those schools because I know how that works when it comes to tax paying money and that kind of stuff. So if you're buying homes in white neighborhoods, your money is actually benefiting the predominantly white schools. So I don't I would like we haven't talked because she's been kind of all over the place, but I would like to have those kind of conversations to see what that critique is. And also the critique of um people acting like everything is white supremacy, like the critiques against her, um, all being rooted in white supremacy. I don't think that that is true. I think that some critiques are valid critiques and need to be addressed. There needs to be some transparency about some things. But trying to think of all my thoughts about it. But the whole idea that just because she has homes or just because she can afford homes, she has total different, like for example, me, I'm an ED, but that's not my only source of income. I have a whole podcast, I have YouTube, I do speakings engagement that don't have nothing to do with my ED stuff. And so I have a whole other source of income. So yeah. So it gets kind of weird when we talk about when we try to equate um her taking care of herself or taking care of her family or buying property or blah 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 blah. I think there's a level of misogynoir in that. I think there's a level of I'm just lashing out at her because she's a black woman, but there's also some level of real critiques that need to be addressed and talked about and and answered to. So I think I'm not on the fence. What's the ED? An executive director. Um so um yeah, I think that there's some valid critiques and then I think that there's some bullshit critiques when it comes to Patrice. I oh gosh. Sometimes people stepping down and resigning is the best for the organization. And so I'm I want to say I'm glad she made the decision, but I'm glad she made a decision that works for her. Yeah. Let's see. Um I want them all to have $1 million homes. If I can afford that with something, I want them to be nice. If they want to have $1 million homes, great. I don't know if it's gonna come out of my pocket, but if I get some kind of coin, my folks is gonna be taken care of, my people. So I know that it ain't just gonna be me. So when she was talking about, oh, I'm taking care of my family, yes, my people, blood, no blood. My folks have been with me since I was broke, since I was homeless, since I was legit since I was whenever. Any motherfucker that has contributed to me and I get some coins, honey, they're being taken care of. So, and I could give a fuck about being canceled. Coins that I work for. I want to make that very clear. Coins that I work for and I earned and I'm paid for doing the work that I do. Not some coins that donated to me for community. No, I'm not using that money. That money is going to community as it should. But if I'm being paid to facilitate where these coins are going because I'm in this organization, then that money that I'm being paid as my salary, I'm gonna help my folks. And what else? And also because I am a a, or a director of a Black-led trans organization, there are many times that we have gotten grants. There are things that I have participated in that were funded by Black Lives Matter. So somebody saying, "Oh, I don't know where's the money going." I know many organizations that have benefited from Black Lives Matter money. Because I'm in that field. I'm in that nonprofit field. I'm seeing people who benefit from it in regards to programming, in regards to community outreach, in regards to stuff like that. So I'm privy to that kind of information. So I can never be somebody who says, "Where is all that money going?" I know, I see. I don't know where all of it's going because I'm not in their accounting, but I know a bunch of people who have benefited from that money. Let me see. Would you be concerned with buying space in low-income area might raise the housing costs when you got money like that? No, I don't think me buying a house in a low income area is going to raise the housing costs because I'm not going to buy a mansion. I don't For me personally, I couldn't live in a big crazy mansion house. I can live in a nice house like a 4 or 5 bedroom house, regular, a nice one, but I can't live in a mansion. I think that's excessive, and I wouldn't want a place like that. I would want it to be secure, so my house would have a nice little. I would build a nice wall or something where motherfuckers can't just easily just come through my yard. You know, it would be safe. But I couldn't have. I wouldn't want a big ass house that I can't manage. If I can't clean that motherfucker on my own without help and it not be a chore, I don't want it. That sounds A big ass house like that sounds weird. Um, where we at? Okay. I don't like people thinking other people should take a vow of poverty because of the work that they do. Baby, listen, that's another thing. Me and my homegirl talked about this a lot. I'm trying to not tell nobody business. So I have one, two, three. I have a tons of ED um friends. But I'm just talking about like the trans ones. So there's a trans one who recently, because she lives in, let me know if y'all stop being able to hear me because I'm not here. um she bought her a house. She lives in a very like fucking think like Iowa or something, a place that the cost of living is not high. Um I don't want it because I ain't gonna do nothing but move people in. Bitch, you know how we are. We don't mind having motherfuckers come stay with us and need a place to stay. We'll turn it into a fucking shelter. No. It'll be a whole fucking shelter with bunk beds, We are run a whole fucking adult group home, child. You know how we are. We do that with our fucking one bedrooms, broke as we are. We do that all the fucking time. So you know, if we had a big ass mansion, everybody in there be fucking wearing us out. And don't let them think we got no coins, baby. The theft and the shade, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but yeah, so she lives in a very low income cost of living place. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, say like Oklahoma, Iowa, Nebraska, all these kind of places. And so she has a nice house. She has a nice car. And she likes to take pictures of it. And so we would have like a three-way call talking about how that doesn't look right. Because if you are asking people for coins to donate to your organization, not donate to you, but donate to your programming of your organization, your salary for running this organization is your salary. That's what you work hard and write grants for and do all that shit that you need to do and write programming and manage the fucking people to do the program and talk and stay up nights fucking engaging with a homeless person who you trying to get them a place to stay and ride them to this shelter and go bail this person out. Them long nights, your salary is what pays you for those jobs that you are doing. Especially if you don't have a big ass staff and you have to do the shit yourself, like I do. That's the salary. But sometimes you're going to be soliciting people to donate their coins for your programming. But if these people if these people are seeing you tipping around in a motherfucking Mercedes Benz, in red bottoms and they're not going to take that message from you. If you looking all fly and expensive, they're going to be like, why should I give my money to that fucking organization? Why you look like you rich and balling? They're good. The visual, even though your money and what you do with your money and the image you project has nothing to do with the needs of your organization, they will look at it as if you don't need the money for your organization. So it's not a good look to be sitting there with being flashy. As an ED, you kind of got to control that because your image matters. You can't be out here motherfucking balling because motherfuckers will look at you like, what's she doing with the money? Even though your salary is enough to take care of yourself for you to be balling, or you got a salary and you got whatever your side hustle is. And so like you like, damn, this is my sickening. And I want to go on vacation, or I want to buy me a nice car. I want to buy me some cute shoes. But you can't really be flashy like that because it just doesn't look good. And having that kind of conversation. If you are in nonprofit work, you are supposed to look like you are poor. You're supposed to look like you are you're supposed to look like you can't look like you got some coins because motherfuckers gonna think you hustling, especially if you black. They quick to be like, it's always the rumor mill to. I haven't experienced this yet because our stuff is so transparent. I haven't experienced, and plus I'm in a one bedroom motherfucking apartment, and I ain't in the hood, but I ain't in no upscale area of fucking Houston. I'm in a cool area. So I don't look like I'm rich. So I haven't had these kind of experiences, but some of my friends have. And that's just how it is. Let me see what y'all talk about. A 12-year-old trans was beat up for holding a pride flag. Interesting. Link us to that information. I'm saying don't expect people to have less than because they are in service related to the field, as long as it's not ill-gotten gains, let people live, right? Sometimes it boils down to perception. Absolutely, Ready Rock. Yes, absolutely. And so you got to control that perception, especially if you're asking for folks money and donations, because that perception can stop them from giving to you. It's the same as people saying stuff about someone making a business like, are you just supposed to resign to be exploited? How are you supposed to build something for ourselves? Got to start somewhere. Yes, it doesn't have to be exploitive situation like co-ops or things like that. At the end of the day, we're still stuck living under capitalism. Yes. Tell Monique this because she got me all confused. Either I walk around here and look like a queen or I come through as a bum. uh, I give the idea that all of the money is going to, it gives the idea that all the money is going to you. Yes. I love your lashes. Hmm. They look like shit to me. These ones done fell out. Like these ones right here, they done came out. These ones are still kind of intact. But the ones here, the individuals that are right here done fell out, child. Monique still calling her husband daddy. Don't listen to nothing she says. Bloop bloop. Child, you calling a grown man daddy and your age with you got a whole full head of grays calling some nigga daddy as a norm. Like it's different. We in the bed and we role playing. Bitch, you calling him daddy like a fucking child on every video. Get out of here. Who needs that? That's weird. Creep. But that's not my business. Just like bonnets ain't hers. Just like bonnet wearing ain't hers. But okay, let's get into privatization of pride. But did I answer your question, Brandon, about Patrice? It is a lot of weird shit, weird way you gotta navigate nonprofit. And especially if you are a black person, a black woman in particular, because you're also battling stereotypes. So so yes, let's talk about pride. Pride is turning into this weird ass capitalistic thing where we are seeing you go to shops and they got rainbow flag that normally don't have rainbow flags. Motherfuckers is turning their packaging into rainbows. You go to Target, they got a section of pride um clothes that are marked up that they are selling for a high price. um it's just every year it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And so I wanted to start off by talking about what pride is and what pride isn't. So I want y'all to understand that pride started because of multiple riots. It was a multiple events. I know everybody want to talk about Stonewall, but Stonewall wasn't actually the first riot that was centered around queerness. Um, Compton Cafeteria had one, and there were some other ones around the country, but that's one that come right off the top of my head. That was, years before Stonewall. So it wasn't the only one. Stonewall, for what I think, if I'm gonna keep it real, I think Stonewall became the main one because it was in New York. There is a privilege that comes with stories coming out of New York just because it is New York City. There's a privilege that comes in that. Um, but there were queer people and queer things happening all across this country. But because it's New York, and I love New York, but New York, there's a even the hoods of New York get talked about more than the hood somewhere else. Only time we talk about the hoods in other cities is if there's a ridiculous amount of number of death like Chicago. But even there's a privilege when it comes to the narrative of America that New York City has. And so I think it may be other elements to why Stonewall is quite important. Timing, being it was in 1969. That was such a tumultuous year across many political fronts. Um, I just think that because it was in New York, that's one of the ones that makes it like, ooh, let's make it sickening. And so Pride started because of a rebellion against police brutality, because there was multiple ridiculous systematic laws and culture in the police department that was harassing and incarcerating queer people. This was also a time, now you got to remember, homosexuality didn't get didn't stop being a mental illness until like 73. You feel what I'm saying? Didn't come until like 73. So prior to this time, remember there was like insane asylums, like one flews of the cuckoo's nest type of places, facilities. Your parents literally can sign you into a home for being homosexual and you not get out. So they literally can get you locked up and put into a fucking mental hospital because you're homosexual. Just like they could do any other like a schizophrenic or any other psychological thing. They literally can get you committed for being homosexual. So in the same way that people can be incarcerated in the jails, gay people were getting and trans people were getting incarcerated in mental facilities and being stuck there because their parents put them there. So not only was that a system, but also the police system was doing discriminatory things and getting people together, getting locked up. People were fucking putting their names in the newspaper. People were posting their fucking their license plate number. I remember in Dallas, one of the sheriffs was fucking going to the gay clubs and posting license plate numbers of people who were going into the gay bars and putting it in the newspaper. Like that, literally, the police system was doing that shit to people all across this country. And that particular night, it just bubbled over and went crazy and it just lasted for a couple of days. Because of that, the next year in 70, there was this march that started there and it just spread like wildfire. Also, this is just a tidbit of history information that you might not know. During those riots, Afeni Shakur, which is Tupac Shakur's mother, Afeni Shakur was actually in the women's detention house in New York City. And in solidarity with what was going on with the riots, they were burning mattresses and burning sheets and throwing them out the window in solidarity to what was going on at Stonewall. Pop that. It's a book coming out. God, I can't think of his name, and I don't feel like flipping through my email. But I was interviewed by this guy his book is coming out soon, and we just had so much information. He talked to so many people, and we talked about that, and I got that information from him, and he connected me with people to talk about it. And yeah, it just we always think about I read something. We always think about these things as being disconnected, but they're actually not connected. There was a lot of things that were connected and people that were connected to movement. So it was quite extra. But yes, anyway. So yes, that's what Pride was about. Pride, at the core, it was about busting against that system. There was sodomy laws that was controlling our sexuality. There were masquerade laws that was controlling how we were able to express our gender. And so that was controlling how we have sex, controlling how we present our our womanhood or our manhood, and how we present our identity as a whole. And so these things, we were bucking up against that system. And also, if you don't know, that's another tidbit of history. There was a whole fire in New Orleans. There was a lounge that they locked gay men into this bar and set it on fire, and it killed like 32 people. This is the type of brutality and a type of shady shit that was going on. Now they wanted to blame it on somebody who was on the down low and wanted to get the people together, which that could be a possibility. But don't nobody know what happened. The investigation was fucking in shambles and shady, and because it was queer motherfuckers, they didn't give a fuck. So don't nobody know what happened. But we do know what happened is that they locked gay men in a club that they would go to, that was a club that they were solace, where they can build community and feel community, and they locked them in and set it on fire. So look that up too. This is the type of shit that was going on in the country at the time. Just crazy ass bullshit that was happening. And so there needed to be a place, there needed to be a time when there was some type of reckoning, and this was the reckoning. So we started to march. It started to be something all over the country that we would do in June. That's what it was about. Pride is also a time when we are commemorating the accomplishments of queer people. This is the time that telling you about a fucking system that makes our life a living hell. In the process of dealing with that system and living in the world where that system reigns supreme and is against us actually accomplishing any motherfucking thing, there are some of us that excel. There are some of us that are able to fight and go up that mountain and get to the top and succeed at something. And so this is also the time where we are commemorating the people who have accomplished something in our community despite everything being against us. So these are the things that the Pride is about. So for corporations now to come into the fray, come into the fold and say, oh my God, I see all these she-males, bulldoggers, and fags over there, and it looks like a big group of them. Ooh, they might got some money. Let's throw some rainbow on some shit and see if they buy it. For them to come into the situation and want us to, thank you, Brandon, want us to spend our money to uptick their bottom line is shady. Because if you don't understand, these same corporations, especially these long-standing corporations, like tons of them, literally their bottom line went into investing in political power and the political power of these systems that we're talking about, the police, the fucking all the politicians that were literally fighting against us getting marriage equality, getting public accommodation, getting workforce discrimination protections and policies on our side. These corporations are the CEOs who benefit from the money and the bottom line of their profits. The CEOs are usually donating to motherfucking Republicans. Usually, not all of them, but usually. And we're not talking about a motherfucker like Chick-fil-A who keep it real with us, who like, we don't fuck with y'all motherfuckers and we don't want y'all to exist, so go die. Tell us. The other ones on the other side, they keep it secret. They may not be given to the churches, to the churches or to that shit like Chick-fil-A is, but they are given to politicians that are not doing shit in our best interest on both sides, Democrat and Republicans. So the money that we are spending to go buy this rainbow shirt, to go buy this special can of rainbow something, or it got all the rainbow stuff, that money is not going to us. It's not going to dismantle the system that Pride is about fighting against. It's not doing what it's not doing what it's not giving what it's supposed to give. It is really just buttering their pockets even more, and their pockets is already butter. We already paying more taxes than they are. So there, it doesn't make sense. Now, if they were taking that money and taking some of those profits, a nice portion of those profits, and actually building infrastructure and for our survival, because I say this all the time. A lot of videos I done said, visibility and awareness does not help us in an effective way, in an efficient way. It is beautiful in regards to our morale. Ooh, I see somebody on TV. I see Pose. I see Laverne Cox. I see Janet Mock. I see Marquise Velson. I see these queer people getting opportunities. For my morale as a person coming out, I feel like, ooh, I'm not alone. I can do this. It gives me great morale. It's like seeing Barack Obama. Do you know how many kids saw him, came out the pussy, and a black man was their president? That morale is beautiful. You can't take that away. Because now anything is possible. Because there was a time when we grew up that being president wasn't even fucking possible. Wasn't even a dream that you could dream. But we have a whole generation of kids who don't have that cynicism. And so that morale is beautiful. But when it comes to the structure, when it comes to dismantling the system and doing things that give us survival mechanisms so we can get out here and actually survive, visibility don't do that. It actually got to be the motherfucking coins that you got. It actually got to be coins that come in our neighborhoods, that comes in our schools, that comes in our organizations, that actually can give us survival mechanisms so that we can get on our feet when these systems are fucking us up, to balance that power. Do you feel what I'm saying? So if your money is not going to those systems if you're not creating space where if I get homeless because I got fired because I was trans, if you're not creating a shelter or creating someplace where I can stay to get on my feet, then you're not actually fucking helping me. I can see Janet Mock all day with a sickening Netflix deal on TV. Janet Mock just did a sickening beauty video with Vogue, by the way. Check it out. It's sickening. I can see her doing that, but I can see her doing it from a fucking a tent encampment of homeless people on Skid Row. I can be under some bridge because I don't have no shelter that I can go to that accepts trans people, or that's comfortable with me being there. If you're not giving me survival mechanisms, then it's not really, the visibility and awareness doesn't do. Oh, you're aware that I'm homeless? Great. You're aware that 40% of the homeless youth, LGBT youth, 40% of the youth are LGBT. You're aware of it. Are you doing anything about it? Awareness don't do shit for me. We are aware that Black women, one of the leading causes of our death is intimate partner homicide. Okay, you're aware of it. Are you doing anything to stop domestic violence or us being murdered? Are you doing something? Okay, random. I found my Pride shirt a few days ago. It's one of the shirts I was selling at my first Pride at the local Gay Straight Alliance Press at my high school for the local LGBT community. But commodifying people culture and not putting the resources back into the community they're profited from is bullshit. Like, if you're not putting the money back in the community, and I'm not even saying all the money, understand that. I'm not even saying all the money. Great, get your profits because you put your inventory into this this product. Okay, cute. Some of those profits needs to come back to community. If you are actually wanting us to believe that you care about us, like, that just has to be what you do. And I think that's on a big level, small level. I think that's everybody. I actually think like even queer people that that don't give back to their community. If you're just trying to take our money and then taking it to the bank and not actually giving back to community, you're not doing anything for us either. You just giving it to the bank. Because it's spinning just back to the bank. That's it. It's basically just another Christmas or Halloween campaign to these corporations, a chance to increase profits and please shareholders. Absolutely. What's Joda mean? I don't know what Joda is. I don't know what Joda. I remember reading that the term Joda in Spanish come from. There was a cell block J in a prison where they could put gay men, and the name letter J in the Spanish was Joda. Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard that. You would have to talk to somebody who was Spanish that might know that kind of history. I don't. They're doing the same shit with Juneteenth. They are definitely doing the same shit with Juneteenth. They do the same thing with Black History Month. They do the same thing with women in March. Um, the same thing with Indigenous People Month. Yeah, that's just what it is. But you just gotta be conscious of it. I've seen Juneteenth party decorate. Now, don't get so also I want to talk, I want to make this point too. So there's a duality of cynicism that it kind of happens too. So on one end, I see the positive. Okay, so I'm not going to complain about the visibility of queer people. I think that's amazing. I want to see queer people. I want to see it. I want to see it. I love the visibility. I think I seen somebody post. You know how like if you're on Facebook, and I don't know if y'all on Facebook anymore, but if I'm on Facebook, sometimes I add people and I don't know their politics. They just added me, so I added them because they was cute or because we got a lot of mutuals. So cool, I add you. But sometimes they don't be on the we don't be on the same politics. So somebody had posted, God, what's going on? I just keep seeing a lot of gay stuff. It just seems like it just seems like I'm just seeing a lot of gay stuff. What's going on? And in almost like a disgust. And in my comment, I was like, good. Because now when if you've seen a lot of gay stuff, that means some gay person who's in the young know that they're not alone. There was a lot of us who didn't have that growing up, who didn't have these type of queer representation when we were growing up. And so good. I'm glad you're seeing it because we've been seeing cis heterosexual shit all our motherfucking life. Y'all can deal with it in June. So there's a level to me that I'm glad on a certain level. I'm glad that it's happening. I'm not complaining about the representation. I'm complaining about the exploitation. I'm complaining about if you're not putting no money back into the you're trying to give the image that you support queer people. Excuse me. That you support queer people. That's the image that you're trying to portray as a corporation. We have this queer person as the endorser. We have this person as a spokesperson for this month. We got the rainbow flags. We got the trend, like Pantene did the transgender Day of Remembrance Pantene hair commercial. I think I talked about that to y'all. Yeah, that wasn't in June. That was for Trans Day of Visibility because now Trans Day of Visibility is becoming the trans version of this pride shit. It's not that I want to see it. It is that I don't want to see it is that you're not giving back. That's the issue. It's not that I don't want to see it. So one incident I'm seeing straight cis het people saying, God, I'm gay stuff. Oh my God. When this is June, we seeing all the rest of the month cis het straight shit featured. And then we see queer people saying, oh, I'm seeing all this gay stuff, these commodifying our culture and our people. And so it's two sides, two opposite sides having a negative response of the queer visibility, both being cynics. Neither one of them is actually, they're not taking the positive out of the situation at all. I expect it from them. I don't really expect it from the queer people. I'm like, come on. Like, there is a positive side of this, but it is okay for us to critique when we're being exploited. It is okay for us to say, now what you doing with that coin? Nah, we ain't gonna support them. Another thing that I see, you'll have somebody who is every year the same, say that they are giving back. The proceeds are going to blank, a queer organization. It'll be a queer organization that has a fucking history of fucking shady ass dealings with queer people, particularly racist dealings. When we think about like a HRC and all their shit, how they have a bad history, they literally have to go on campaigns to try to, heal the harm that they've done to community. When we think about GLAAD, love GLAAD to death and the work that they do, but they got tons of money. Why you keep giving to them every year? Give to somebody smaller that's more on the ground, that's more directly helping the people. Like, you giving to the same billion-dollar fucking organization, GLAAD, HRC, and so and so and so and so. There's other organizations out here. Let me see. Hey, Kareem, happy Pride Month. Not to mention the heavy amount of alcohol marketing to a community that struggles with substance abuse. I don't need rainbow colored booze. I need resources. Come on. You bets to read. That is true. That's all that's missing at this point. Let me see. They have Pride all over Google too. It's literally the letters on Google. Yeah, they do that every year, India. Yep. And it's on Facebook too. It's not that I don't mind it happening. I mind what y'all are doing in response to the issues. Make your coins. I like the visibility. But I also want some tangible things that your company, your organization, your corporation is doing for the people. Hey, D. Ashley. Yeah, she caught alive. Honestly, rather it be profitable to pander to queer people than have those companies pander to those that hate us. But they do that too, boo-boo, already, because they're the norm. And their money is going to benefit the politicians that are supporting them. So that's what I meant earlier. That money, they may be pandering to get your money, but once they get your money, that money is going to Republican politicians most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. Do you feel like this visibility is for us? Yes, absolutely. Because if we're talking about pride, queer visibility, there are Black queer people. So yes, it's for us. Do I think that that sometimes organizations center white folks? Yes, absolutely. Do I think organizations center gay men and women and not trans people? Yes, absolutely. They always focus on the L and the G. Representation need action behind it. These corporations need to be hiring lobbyists that lobby for policy that protect and invest in marginalized community. Yes, absolutely. Because there ain't, if we notice, they're trying to, Chick-fil-A is keeping it real and keeping it honest. They saying we trying to gut the Equality Act. So we paying the politicians that's killing that motherfucker. All right. So Chick-fil-A is saying they don't fuck with us out in the open. So our out in the open organizations that have all these pride flags that are saying, fuck Chick-fil-A. We love our motherfucking gay people, our LGBTQIA folks plus. So we about to counter that and give some coins to push equality. The Equality Act forward. Where are the people that are just as loud as them motherfuckers? Because you're loud when you're trying to get our coins. But are you loud at the lobbyists? Are you loud at the politicians? All of that. Come on. Nothing can escape white supremacy. Making a decision. Do you think they might be a defeatist attitude because we gotta believe we can get rid of white supremacy if it's going to put effort in to get rid of it? I think it can be a Google will say pride but suppress queer content creators. Absolutely, I am one of them. Y'all know I've been on this YouTube thing for about 12 years, and sometimes I feel like because I put shit will be like, look, they shut down my channel for literally the most bullshit weird ass reason. Like, usually Google back in the day, I don't know how it works now because clearly it's a bunch of bullshit. Back in the day, they would you had like 3 different strikes. Like if you like say you posted something that say you posted something that was against the rules. So y'all see the shit I be talking about. It don't be on no bullshit like that. That was against the rules. Say I posted my titties. They would flag you once. If you do 3 times, just like any other thing, 3 strikes are out. Your channel will be deleted. So I had a video 9 years ago. I posted it 9 years ago. At the time that they deleted my channel, it was 9 years old. The video was me in a black my woman dress. Y'all remember my woman dress. My boobs was out and pushed up. It's just the cleavage showing. Nothing like y'all see my woman dress, the woman dress video. Thank you, aesthetic. Thank you. And I had a whip in my hand, and I didn't cuss. I didn't say anything. I took the whip and I hit my hand. All you could see was this part of my body, and my cleavage was out. No nipple, no nothing. Just me whipping my hand. And they said that was inappropriate. And deleted my whole channel for a year and a half. How long was I gone? Like a year and a half. But prior to that, so that was the first time. That was the big thing. But before that, when they did that switch over to where the algorithm was being weird, the amount of money that I was making changed. And it was wild. It was wild and crazy. It would, just because I put transgender or transsexual or trans, just because I put that in the tags, it would deem my video inappropriate. Or what's it called? Not inappropriate, or it's another word where it's just not good for I could be talking about something that's not sexual, but because I'm a trans content creator, I'm putting this, everything is from a trans perspective. So I'm going to put that in my tags. And so they would demonetize it. it would be yellow. It wouldn't be all monetized. It would just be regular. So it took so much money away from me. And so, yeah, they definitely suppressed my fucking queer ass all the time. All the motherfucking time. So it was weird. It was they do that, and then there was a whole lawsuit that came up against YouTube about this same exact fucking shit. But it was white people. They didn't hit up no black people. Now I don't know what has changed. I don't know what has changed, but in the beginning, when I would put trans or transsexual or transgender in my tags, they would demonetize. It don't matter what I was talking about, and I tested it. If I wouldn't put none of that, if I wouldn't put none, would not it would be monetized if I was talking about something normal. But the problem with me not putting trans on there is people who are looking for trans content can't find me. And so on the that I didn't put trans, I would get them all these motherfucking haters on my videos talking about, are you a man or a woman? You got a deep voice. Are you a man? Are you a man? Are you a tranny? Are you? I would get all this shit because they would be looking for the content, but not from a fucking trans creator. And so they're not even focused. It would just, but if I put trans, people who are looking for trans content will be able to find me. And so it just changed the whole algorithm of who could find and who couldn't and blah, 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 blah. So it was shitty. It was shitty as fuck. And I thought it was just me. Not they were doing it to just me. I just thought maybe, I was doing something wrong, or I hadn't figured out the new system and blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't, because I talked to other creators and they was having the same problem, just maybe with another thing. Because black female creators were having the same problem when they would have content about topics like feminism or black stuff like that was deemed controversial. So it was like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, put the tags right. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so yes, these corporations will do that. Or they will feature, they won't be featuring no black folks. They won't be featuring no queer black people. They'll feature, that's when the racism come in. They will feature queer people, but it'll be nothing but white ones. White or light brown. the white passing Latinas or Asian, of course. Absolutely. So yeah, it's quite stupid and quite silly. What other points did I want to make about corporate pride shit? Also, queer people who make pride merchandise, let that shit be worth a motherfucking damn. If you're gonna be price gouging your pride fucking shit, make it be some worth something. If you're making quality, make your jewelry quality. Make your t-shirts quality. I don't want to buy a fucking pride t-shirt from you because you are a queer provider, and then I watch that motherfucker and that motherfucker tear up because you was cheap and you doing these exploitative capitalistic strategies to make money and make a profit. I remember I was at this conference and this black queer woman was selling earrings, and they were Fulani earrings. I love Fulani. Y'all know the Fulani with the they're gold and then they had this spiral thing. I love Fulani earrings, but I stopped buying them because every time I bought some Fulani earrings, they was fucking cheap and raggedy and wore out and would tear up. Even when I try to buy for my people. Thank you. Yes, don't forget to like the video. Thank you for saying that. I don't know what's happening, but hold on, let me lift this up. It's being weird. Wash it and all the letters left. It's yes. Yes, I had this for a minute because Honey Queer Walk got some quality stuff. Let me see if I can. Leave me alone. This is my Teesprings. We talk about products. So yeah, I think your stuff, you should make sure that your stuff is quality, premium, all that kind of stuff. You should make sure that your customer service is good. I don't want to be fucking paying my coin and you being rude to me when I call. And this ain't just queer stuff. This is any marginalized people. Like, you got to make sure the quality. I'm a person that when you are a marginalized business owner, I give you leeway. I give you so much room for mistakes because I know you may not have the money for all the big whatever you need for everything, call centers and whatever the operations. You might not have the big ass team because you're a small business. So I understand. So I know I might have a little time to wait to get my product. I know I might have a little time to I don't I you know it I give you a lot of space. A lot of space. So when I call you and if there is a problem that I think that should be fixed, when I call you, give me good customer service. Be nice to me. Be nice. Please. Mm. Hey, Serenity. All right, so let's talk about. I know I know the other point that I want to make. Oh no, some water got on my phone. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Let me go to my email. So, if you are any type of artist or any type of content creator or any type of organizer or anything that provides a service for people that in your career, you came back from a search. Issa, shut up. Um, you know that this is a hot time for us. June, everybody wants you to be on their panels. Everybody wants you to be a part of the events because they are corporation and organizations that are trying to exploit and pretend that they are down for the people. So they will hit you up and say, "Ooh, we want you to be on whoever their coordinators, their boss said, "Ooh, you need to find some gay people. We need to do a pride panel. We need to do a pride episode. We need to do a pride something. Get all the pride, get all the gays and the queers and the she-males and the its and the da, 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 da. Get them. Let's get them on the show." They try, and so this is a really, really busy time for us. And so because it's a lot of times for people to be performative. And so let me read you this email. Hey, Diamond, my name is blank. I'm a student representative for this organization, as well as an incoming grad student at this school. I don't want to give all the tea. And I'm a longtime listener of Marsha's Play. I was kept catching up on the new episode, and I missed and heard you mention that you knew the journalist and trailblazer Monica Roberts. Of course, great. I am facilitating an event with plug organization, plug another organization. So two organizations are doing an event, and he is trying to recruit me to be it. We want to honor Monica Roberts next month. Ideally, they give me a date, and basically he describes the event. We want to take an opportunity to both celebrate our trailblazing people and people who are ceiling breakers, and engage both with Black and LGBT community in the dialogue on how they can better support who lives at both of these intersections within the context of Monica Roberts' experience as a Black transgender woman working in an industry built on white supremacy. I was wondering if you could, now this is sounding all good, right? I was wondering if you would be able or interested in sitting on a panel to speak about Miss Monica Roberts' impact. I was not given a budget. Red flag already. I was not given a budget to work with, so they would be volunteering for their time, but they would be helping a queer student journalist honor a trailblazer in the way that she deserves. Thank you so much for your time. All right. So I respond. I say, hey, insert name. Thanks for your support on Marsha's Play and thinking of me. I will be honored to be involved in this event, and I will do it on the strength of my close friendship with Monica and the belief that she should be honored. But, and I put in capital letters, but I must say this. Hold on. I must say this. Capital letters. It is very shady and tone deaf for them, whoever controls the money, to send you out to contact people who sit at the intersection of being Black, a woman, and trans, like Monica, a group who are historically, even her, was underpaid and not even have a modest, let alone equitable budget to pay us for our connections, expertise, and time. It's disrespectful to her legacy. Also, it shows a lack of integrity and a complacency of the institution for assisting in further marginalizing Black and trans folks by not actually investing in their current work to change the narrative of exploitation. Gone are the days of the consistent use of marginalized Black queer voices to performatively, especially during this time, to perform that you are an ally during Pride. Gone are those days. It's old and played out. Don't let them put you in this position again. It is not a good look for you, and it's not a good look for them. But I am available June that day. Let me know what the next steps are. So, the response. Hello, I wholeheartedly agree with you and want to offer my personal and professional apologies. I would never want to perpetuate the same injustice that Ms. Roberts spent her career fighting against. Please let me know what your speaker's fee is for an event like this. I don't think I mentioned it in the email. We are looking at a duration of a half hour to an hour and a half. So I can address this to the chapter presidents of both organizations. Thank you so much. So because I said this, now you want to ask them what's the coins. Anytime somebody comes to me to recruit somebody for an event that I have to coordinate, I'm asking what's the budget, because people need to be paid. What's up? So that should be something that you should do immediately. If you're asking me to do something for you, no. I'm talking about for an organization. Like if it's for you, like just you are a personal friend or you somebody who cool and you got an event that you are doing, not for an organization, but that you are doing, that you want to do, and you're not a big corporation. There's a difference in that. I give way more leeway situation like that. But you're literally in the email telling me that you have two that are helping you facilitate this. You want to tell you mean to tell me that neither one of these organizations has money? Neither one have nothing, not even a $50, not even $100, not even a $250. Or I'm a small organization. If somebody does some work for me, I can at least give them $250. At least. I remember I had Monica. Monica was supposed to do a keynote. So in 2014, the TransFitCon conference started. The TransFitCon is a trans conference about fitness for trans men. It's one of the first of its kind. There's other ones that have started since then, but this is the first one. And it was a bodybuilding competition for centering trans men. I was brought on to be the host, because I've been doing this work for a long time. And so Neo, who is literally now my husband, brought me on the next year. We're getting a divorce. We just turned the papers in. So, but literally is now my husband. He brought me in. So the first one, it was just him and his then girlfriend and his best friend Angel that organized the very first one. So I didn't have anything to do other than being the host of the event on the very first one. The second go round, he wasn't with his girlfriend, and he brought me in to also help him with the second go round. So in that second go round, we were bringing Monica to be the keynote. Because I knew the amount of money that the organization was making, it wasn't a lot. The first time we were actually in a deficit. The second time we kind of broke even. The third time is the first time that we had some kind of funding to do something with. So the first two times didn't make any money. So I knew this. So I was like, okay. So when they brought it to Monica to be the conference keynote, I knew they didn't have enough money, but they had something. So me, Diamond Stylz, I paid Monica's fee because that's my motherfucking friend. I want her to be a part of this. I am invested in this organization, and I know they don't got the money to do it. So I use my money because I worked and saved and I had the money to do it and helped pay for her fee. If I want you, I'm going to pay you to be here. Now, I'm not going to pay you $2,500, but if I can come up with something to give you, I'm going to do that. So I literally have done this for the woman that you're talking about on this email. I literally have. So I've been in your situation, but I also know it's not your fault. It's them, the leaders of the organization, that's not giving you a budget. Sometimes it's not the people who are sending you the email's fault. So that's why I was so tender, because I didn't know what the coins was looking like. But what you're telling me now is that you're going back to ask them for some coins, because now I got to give you my rate. So you didn't even think about asking them for no coins before you came to me? Weird. But okay. So I say, I understand. I have been in the same coordinating event position as well. So I know folks can play games when it comes to paying people. And so I give him my full rates of how I get down with my coins. And I also say, here's a little bit about me. So if they ask why my rates are what they are, this is some history about who the fuck I am. And I send him links after links after links, places that I have been a part of, people who have paid me, big organizations. So here. This is my resume. Boom. So he says, thank you. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That. And then, so that was about a week ago. So recently he says, all right, I'm writing you an update on the panel event. Now, mind you, in the very first email that I responded, I said that I would do it, right? Because on the strength of my friend needs to be honored. And this is a journalist organization that she was a part of, and they need to fucking honor her, and I want to be a part of it, regardless if I'm paid or not. The whole point of me saying something about the pay is to train you that the next time you hit me up, hopefully the next time you hit anybody up, but definitely the next time you hit me up, you need to have a budget. So that's what I'm trying to train people to do. But because this is for Monica, I would usually immediately say no. But if it was just no budget, I would say no. But because this is for Monica, I'll do it for free. And so I have already said yes, but I just wanted to let him know what the tea was. And so he says, I'm trying to update. He says, hey, good afternoon. I'm writing to update you on the event, honoring Monica on the date, blah, 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 blah. I've been running up the chain to see if either organization, either one, remember I said it was two, will cover the speaker's fee, both on the chapters and the national level. I've discovered that neither organization usually pays fees for events, but I'm reaching out to other nonprofit leaders to see how we can start to bring money into this specific purpose to pay people what they are worth. I will continue. We've seen how poor journalists have been done when it comes to centering trans people and their coverage. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna skip all of that. So he says, but I'm reaching out to confirm on whether or not you still are interested in doing the event, even if we can't come up with compensation. If no, I totally understand. So I write back, please let me know either way. I said, hey, your name. Yes, darling, I already told you that I will do that. Thank you for trying and continue to try. I was just giving you a heads up on how performative it was to honor a Black trans woman during Pride who struggles with the same issue in her life. I literally negotiated an honorarium for Monica with this same organization that you're trying to get me to work for. While she was struggling to pay her bills, they were praising her for her work, but trying to get her to work for free. She was too prideful to ask, so I did it for her. She ended up with an honorarium. Small, but something. Let me give you that story. So me and Monica was really friends. We weren't just trans women that just so happened to be trans women. We were really friends. She lives 4 blocks away from me. If I go to Kroger's, I'm texting Monica, bitch, you need something? I'm at Kroger's. You want to pick you up something? And I bring it to you? Especially during COVID, because I heard she old and I didn't want her out in COVID. But this is my friend, my loved one. So I was over her house. And she was going through the email. And she was telling me about what was happening with these people trying to get to her to work for free. And I was like, Monica, ask her for some money. And she was like, Diamond, no. You know how Monica don't cuss. She don't, she's a classy, not a church lady, but basically a church lady. Don't cuss, proper classy Black trans woman. And so I was like, Monica, ask them motherfuckers for some money. And she was so prideful. No, they're and I literally turned her computer around and typed them back. I'm going to need an honorarium. What is in your budget to do? This is my rate. Give them the high number that you want. If you can't do that, what can you do? And we got her honorarium. This same organization that he's talking about. And to add insult to injury, he says they're telling him, now mind you, it's not his fault. I'm not blaming him. He's saying that the two organizations is saying that they don't pay people. Oh, is that what they're telling you? 1 second. Go to their website. I'm in this shit. I'm in this game. I know what the T is. I know if you go to their website, let me look at all the events that y'all have coming up and who the speakers are. I went down the list to see who the speakers were. Boom, I see somebody that I know. Let me hit them up on Instagram. Hey, you got this event coming up with this organization and you were one of the panelists. How much did they pay you? You know what she said to me? Let me go to it. I'm not the one. But let me show you what she said. She said, I was offered an honorarium for this amount, which I declined as I have a full-time job and I'm not experiencing any financial hardships. I will say that when I have done stuff for this organization, I have never been paid. That doesn't mean that the speakers shouldn't be compensated, but previous to this, I did not get offered an honorarium, but they did offer me one this time, but I didn't take it because I didn't need it. So this is a person who is in an event that they're having coming up that got paid an honorarium. Now the amount of the honorarium that she said wasn't nothing. Nickels and dimes, baby. It wasn't nothing, but it was something. So you're not about to sit and play in my face and tell me that they couldn't come with nothing? You telling me zero? You can't even pay me my internet bill, my phone bill, some kind of bill in this motherfucker, my Netflix bill. That's $10. You coming with zero. And you want me to believe that you are invested in uplifting Black trans women, and you know the systems that we're up against, and you don't want to share the privilege and the wealth in giving us something? You coming with zero. But you want me to come perform and tap dance and monkey dance on your motherfucking panel and sell my trans trauma. That's what you want me to do? You want me coming, the trans community and marginalization and intersectionality and oppression and this and that and this and this and that. And woe is me. Tranny. You want me to come sell all that bullshit? So you can look like you an ally? Fuck out of here. So I say, the purpose of me giving you this information was to let you know the context of what's happening. The context of what's happening is you are celebrating a trans woman, discussing her bucking against the system in this journalistic space. You are talking about her marginalization. You are discussing her triumphs and her trials and tribulations. You are discussing this while at the same time perpetuating the same system by not paying a Black trans woman to come do your event. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about when it comes to fake ass corporatization of pride, fake ass allyship, fake ass shit like that. Because if I point it out to you and you're not trying to do your best to fix it, now this person contacted me, I don't think he has the power. Understand? I'm not blaming him. Now, what I did blame him for is not coming to me with a budget before I said something. That. But as far as the money part, it is the corporation. You're not about to sell to me that you don't have any coins to give. I'm sorry. You're not about to sell it to me, baby. You're not about to sell it to me that you don't have something to give a Black trans woman. Sorry. Because it's disrespectful to her legacy. But yes, so I want to make that clear. I want to make it very clear that performing allyship at any time, not just Pride, at any time, is trash. All right, it's 1:30. What y'all want to talk about? Y'all know the last 30 minutes, it's free reign. What y'all want to kiki about, baby? Ooh. The spirit make it intercession. Oh, praises be to the King of Kings and the Lord our God. He is wonderful. Yes, I did. We covered the bonnet situation in my last video called Pride and Trans Masculinity. We posted it yesterday. That's where we covered the bonnet situation. Suggestion. Yes, strawberry lemonade. It is my fave. No, it's not my fave. My fave is mango passion fruit, but I do like strawberry lemonade. My favorite is mango passion fruit. I wish they had one. I've not at my store that I go to now, but I've seen one that was like a sour kiwi something, it was sour, and I loved it, like a green apple kiwi or something, and it was fire. It was not sweet enough. I like it to be sour, so that's the kind of ones that I find, but they don't sell them at the store that I go to, so I have to find them on the cool somewhere else. Suggestions on how to get T blockers. Do I just ask my doctor? Yes, your doctor should be prescribing you progesterone because progesterone is a T blocker. So you should be on. Well, I don't know about you. Let your doctor talk to you about that. I'm not a doctor, but my history as a trans woman, you should be on some type of estrogen, which it would be like an estradiol or estrace, and you should be on some type of blocker. Historically, it's been like spirolactone, but they don't fucking do that no more. They do progesterone, and it will change your life. Pride and trans masculinity. Thank you, Brandon. That's why you a moderator, because you be on it. Thank you so much, babe. Any upcoming shows you are interested in? Shows. I am watching a lot of shows. Currently watching Handmaid's Tale. That is one of my favorite series of all times. That is ranked up there with like Game of Thrones. It's one of my favorite of all my life type shows. So I'm really currently into Handmaid's Tale. I am also Pose is done. So Pose, I'm watching Pose. We do a Pose review. We released review of episode 1, 2, and 3 of this season already on the podcast Marsha's Plate. If you don't know the podcast, Pose is really worried about. It is, yes, it is what is traumatic? Handmaid's Tale or Pose? Both are really traumatic sometimes. Both. But anybody watching Cruel Summer? I saw that, but I'm not watching it yet. Oh, I started watching Underground. Woo! If you want to talk about traumatic, Underground on Prime by Barry Jenkins. Ooh, I did watch the Upshaw. It's kind of pissing me off, so I had to cut it off. Excuse me. It was pissing me off. I just went to the dentist yesterday, y'all, and got shit. Why is it not standing up? Ooh, come on, people. Stand up. And I got a bridge put in. Like, y'all probably didn't notice it because it was way back here and y'all didn't see it. But this one tooth right here was missing. And so they put a bridge for the tooth because these two, without that tooth right there, they were shifting and it was a gap right here that was starting. So I had to get a bridge, and as you can see, it's not empty no more. It's my bridge, and I got some whiteness, so that's why my teeth is looking extra white. Hey. But when you do whitening, your teeth be fucking sensitive and crazy and annoying. But anyway, yes. I started watching Underground, baby. Underground was wild style, baby. Underground was like them. You know how it can be extra? Is the bridge painful? No, I don't feel it. It's painful. No, it's not painful at all. Like, it's not. When they put the when they're bridge, they are they put a temporary one in there. Underground with Aldous Hodges. No, Underground. It's on Prime. It doesn't have Aldous Hodges on there. Underground, it just came out. Not that old Underground with Journey Smollett. Not that one. That got canceled. Not that one. There's a new one on Prime. That's by the dude who did Moonlight, Barry Jenkins. Blanca's character on Pose irritates me sometimes. She's mad corny. Yeah, but I like corny people. Not the one with Journey. Not the one with Journey. It's a whole different one. Not the one with Journey. Not her. That one got canceled. There's a whole new a new series. It's called Underground something, and it is. If you're not into that kind of show where you gonna see people get hanged and shit happen to them, don't watch that. I had to cut it off. I'm gonna go back and finish it because I can handle stuff like that. But because so much death and shit was happening during the time that I started, I had to cut it off, and I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna finish watching later. I got the teeniest bit of that whitening on my lip, and it looked like I had vials of filler. Really? It don't do nothing to my lip. It don't get on my lip. That little light on your that light makes my fucking teeth super sensitive. What was annoying you about Upshaw? The Tyler Perry-esque, the Underground Railroad. Bam. Yes, the Underground. It's called the Underground Railroad. Yes, that is what it's called. I don't know. It was very tight. It was very Chitless Circuit, very African American tropes. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the compliment. Very African American tropes, very colorism. It's a lot of colorism shit on there that's kind of weird. Um, I don't know. It just was too. I don't know. It wasn't the. It wasn't what no, thank you. It was feel good family comedy. So if you like that, if you like um House of Pain, um it was very that. It's that kind of House of Pain. What else? I don't know. That's what it reminds me of. It's those kind of shows. It was real relatable. Oh no, not relatable at all to the doll. It was so. I don't know. I didn't like all that. It was giving me House of Pain. It is no trauma in it. It's fun and funny, but yeah, I can't. Mm-mm. Pose is very Once Upon a Time. They live happily ever after this season. I wanted that for the last season though, Brandon. I get that. I get what they doing. If they were going into another season, I wouldn't want it, but because this is the last season, I'm okay with that actually. I'm all right with it. But there's moments where they keep it real. Like her father didn't come. Her father didn't come. Like it happily ever after would have been them having a moment where her father showed up. He didn't come at all. Do you see what I'm saying? The BS of it reminds me of my parents. So post therapy of the trauma, I was able to laugh at the show. Yeah, I don't want to say it wasn't funny, but that's not my type of humor. My type of humor is like Insecure. I like shows like Insecure. That's my type of humor. The way Issa Rae is, I like whatever the comedic shit on Insecure, that's shit I like. That House of Pain, Upshaw type of comedy, it feels, I don't know, it feels like Chitlin Circuit, and I don't like it. It doesn't minister to my spirit. I missed something. Do you think the season of Pose is given very far fetched fairy tale tease? Uh, there's elements, but then there's also truth. I think they're trying to do a lot in this last episode. Yeah. I don't think that that's unrealistic though. I don't think I've done that. Like literally, if you go back in my videos, if you go back in my video archives, I actually have a video talking about how I got my the F on my ID without doing the stuff that other people had to do. It's because they looked over that and just saw me. Exactly what they were trying to explain Angel to do, just go in there. That's exactly how I got a F on my ID. Not because I gave them the paperwork, just because they looked over everything else because they saw a woman in front of them. So that's realistic to me. That's literally what happened in my life. And then also, wait. Also, another thing. So I do reviews of Pose. I always do it the review with on the podcast, not on here, but on the podcast. I always do the review with a butch queen. I always do with a gay male. And right now, I have a gay male clerk. He randomly is um randomly he is a clerk. That's what he is. And so he talked about how I forged the paperwork for my gender marker. See, it happens. He literally talks about how people mess up documents and look over stuff all the time, and they just let it ride because nobody wants to admit who was wrong because they can get fired. It's so many things that happen in regards to everything, like gender, marriage, so many things. They do it all. It happens all the time. So I don't think it's unrealistic. What was unrealistic about that scenario is Blanca. Blanca telling her that her marriage would be invalid if she hustled the city people. Go in there with your real information. And bitch, what? I ain't never met no trans woman that now I don't know about nobody else. I don't want to say this in an absolute way, but I know ain't no bitch I ever met been knocked down with figuring out a hustle of how to get your gender marker changed or how to get your name right. Whatever we can motherfucking do to get our paperwork how we want it to have, whatever hustle sounds right, we gonna do that shit. I don't know what Blanca was talking about. No, you go in there and be the woman that you are because that shit'll get your motherfucking shit denied. What the fuck are you talking about, Blanca? When Electra said that's the dumbest shit, she wasn't talking to Blanca, but when Electra said, that's the most dumbest shit, she was talking to Lulu. I was talking to motherfucking Blanca. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. I have known of girls that got an F on their ID by pure luck at the DMV. Yes, pure luck. Both. I've seen multiple. I've seen forged information. I've seen luck. I've seen, honey, you go in there as fish and you leave it empty, and the woman sees you and she think you just a cisgender girl, and she put an F. She put an F. You ain't even got to put an F. She put an F. Oh, you forgot this. Or don't even say nothing, just do it. Because she sees a woman in front of her. I've seen the girl who fish as hell and come up to the thing and they say, baby, this says M. What's going on? Oh, I don't know why it says that. And they're like, oh, no, baby, we can fix that for you. I don't know what they were thinking. F. I've seen so many incidents where it could be luck, it could be work, it could be whatever. A stunt, it could be whatever. Exactly. Exactly, Ari. Exactly. Blanca is dense sometimes, but I think she is intentionally dense. I think she's one of those characters that is, she's like Poppy, she's like Ricky. They all three of them, their characters are intentionally dense. I literally bought a letter from my therapist and showed it to them, and they changed it. I'm sure the clerk had no idea what they were looking at, but just wanted papers. Yes, absolutely. If you show up looking fish, they won't think twice sometimes. Yeah, I ain't never had no issue. I remember the video. I did that for a customer when I worked for a company that I used to work for. Yes, if you are in any kind of hiring position and you are hiring trans person, baby, honey, get their information right on the thing. Get, put an F on there or M if it's a trans man. Do your job. I've seen other reviews of the show on polls, and a common thing that is said is that the show felt rushed or overlooked and or not explained, like Electra owning a phone sex operation. I didn't feel like that wasn't explained. I didn't feel like that needed explanation. But I do feel rushed. I do feel like some rushing happening, but I didn't feel like that needed explanation. She's a sex worker. So of course, going into phone sex at this time, early 90s, late 80s, how many of y'all remember Night Flirt? That was fucking, or Phone Actress. Y'all remember Phone Actress? That was a part of the sex worker game. You would be having phone calls in the middle of your real clients coming to your house. You would be taking calls. That was sex. That was a part of sex work. So it didn't seem like it needed to be explained. I think if I remember correctly, my clerk was gay. He was looking out for the girls. Yes, as it should be. Word out. Some opposed characters are very dense, especially to be from New York. Oh, baby, you must never been to New York. You think New Yorkers are smart? All of them? Oh no, honey. I know some amazing, brilliant New Yorkers, and I know some dunce ones. So what you mean? Especially from New York, child. I know some dust ass New Yorkers and some brilliant ones. So, honey, right? They would get taken advantage of in the streets, and girls like that do. They do. I know dumb people all over the country. Yes, I don't think NY are smart, but I'm thinking street smart. No, they're honey. New Yorkers get got every day, tourists and locals, because they be dumb. I can see that. Blanca, Ricky, and Poppy are the ones that they depict as kind of, slow. Yes. During this time, I answer whatever questions you ask. The Zenarith, is that how you say your name? Sure. Long as it's not no weird shit, you guys, whatever. Suppose it's supposed to be very camp. I don't know if it's supposed to be. I know there's some very camp moments. Very, very camp moments. The light skin Latinx. Okay, I think some of y'all need to refresh because y'all talking about stuff that was said a while ago. Any advice for a trans girl moving to Dallas for the first time soon? I don't know. Like, what kind of advice? What do you mean? What kind of in regards to what? Dallas has a big trans community, so you're gonna find a lot of community there. Make sure you come to the Black Trans Advocacy Conference. We have it every year at the end of April. It's a lot of community going to be there as well. Um, yeah, it just was an easy transition for her to be into sex work. I'm low-key scared for the last episode. I don't think I'm ready if what I think will happen. I don't think they're gonna kill anybody. I don't think, well, not kill, but I don't think we're gonna see Pray Tell die. That would be strange to end it on a low note like that. But I do think that they're gonna have a ball scene moment with Pray Tell because they're setting that up. We haven't seen a ball scene in a minute, like getting tens and doing the classic pose, walk the runway. Um, we haven't seen that in the last couple of episodes, and that's the last thing that we need to see. Billy Porter's moment in ball scene. Pray Tell's moment in ballroom. His moment. They're gonna do something like no, I haven't started watching Cruel Summer. Somebody mentioned Cruel Summers earlier. I think they're gonna do something like Blanca during the Mother's Day ball, when she had the wheelchair and stuff. Do you believe or think there's a gay agenda? Yes, the gay agenda is for us to not get discriminated against, for us to be able to live free and happy and not have negative consequences based on our gender identity or our sexuality. That's the gay agenda. Absolutely. I think that's real. But if we're talking about the gay agenda that the cishet motherfuckers talk about, no. But if we're talking about the gay agenda that makes us free of discrimination and hardships, yes, that agenda is real and you need to support it. Yes, the ball scene was um been very light. I thought I had to do with the shooting during COVID. Maybe that too. Am I the only one over Pray Tell? No, I'm not over Pray Tell. I'm not. I like Pray Tell. I think he's the best actor on the show. Um, he's not my favorite character, but he's the best actor on the show. Um, and I like Candy's post-mortem ball moment. Yes, they're gonna do something like that. As a trans woman from Jackson, Mississippi, I believe I believe HBO Max should pick up and give a season two of Veneno. I didn't get into that. I couldn't get into it. I think it seemed like it was good, but it didn't seem like it was for me. Um, of April, right after my birthday. Gotcha. I will definitely show up for that advice. But yeah, there's a big community in the Dallas area. So definitely you're gonna meet some people. Um, good and bad. Like everywhere. So just be careful. Um, let me think. Who else is saying stuff? Hold on. But the real tea is the heterosexual agenda. Boom. Do you think the positive perspective that Pose has taken over the series was beneficial in the long run when it comes to trans narrative? Yes, I do. I think we saw enough negative. We saw enough negative in the first two seasons. I think this last season is beautiful. I think they're giving a positive relationship shown with Blanca and her boyfriend and um Poppy and Poppy and Angel. I really I need y'all to listen to Marsha's plate. I really go in depth about my opinions on on Pose. I really go in depth for each episode, every single one. What platform does Veneno come on? I think it comes on HBO. Um, Definitely agree. Billy Porter does an amazing performance as absolutely come through Jackson. Yeah, I used to live in Jackson from 2000. to 2002, and then 2005 until 2007. Off of Morehouse, right by Jackson State, and in the hood in Glen Oaks apartment off of Robinson. Um, yes, it's a whole playlist. I do every single episode, like from season 1 all the way till now. I do a review of every single episode, and I go into detail about if they do something historic. I go into detail about the actual happenings and explain it a little bit more in depth than they do on the show, because they only have an hour to tell a story, a fictional story that is based on reality. So I try to give you what the real's tea on the story, on what stories they're trying to pull from. Veneno was based on a real event. Yes. Christina passed, so there's no more story. Yes. Yes. I think it is worth watching. I couldn't get into it. It just didn't seem like it was for me. It not that it needs to be for me. I think that is for a particular culture, and I think it needs to be told and said. And so most people who I know that watch it loved it. So I say watch it. My co-host loved it. They talked about it on March's Plate. And so I think everybody should watch it. I just didn't get into it. I couldn't get into Pose. I respected showing trans stories and giving trans actor an opportunity, but the show is kind of silly to me. Okay, that makes sense. I definitely felt that on the first scene, on the first episode when they had stole the stuff from the museum. I was like, ooh, this is about to be slapstick. But then they started getting more serious. I think they're offering a resource for queer people to share with their families. Electra's episode will be a great conversation starter with families. Pray Tales as well. Yeah, I think it overall is. I enjoyed Pose. I don't have anything negative to say about Pose at all. I enjoyed it. Nothing is going to be perfect. So nothing is ever going to be able to depict the real life of trans women based on the perspective of every single trans woman, because there are some things that I experience that another Black trans woman is not going to experience. So one thing that seems like a realistic thing for me may not be realistic for her. So it's not gonna always be it's not gonna be it's not gonna be realistic to everybody. I think you'll like it. You think I'll like what? I don't really like the cis gay agenda. A lot of these people are just using it as a reason why they shouldn't mention anything LGBT in schools and media. If you're not listening to the Marshall Play Post review, you're missing out. Yeah, it's a lot. Any trash TV guilty pleasure? Not recently. I used to love Real Housewives. I used to love Real Housewives of Atlanta. I used to love that. I got off of it. It started being weird. I haven't really got into reality TV lately. I haven't been watching any kind of trash. If you want like mindless, cute little fun, Queen Latifah's Equalizer, watch that. High Off the Hog. I don't know if it's trash. I'm trying to think of trash TV that is guilty pleasure. I do watch stuff like that, but I haven't got into anything lately. That was more like P Valley. um, yeah. Yeah, I haven't been I've been watching High Off the Hog. That was really fucking good. High Off the Hog, which is a food show on Netflix about African American culinary history. Excuse me. Why is this giving me the burps like it's not water? Um, what else have I been watching? Shit. That's it. Handmaids. 90 Day Fiance. I did watch an episode of 90 Day Fiance. When it was the black people. Well, it might have always been black people. I don't know. I don't know what season I watched, but it was two black people. Um what was the one with the shit, I can't remember. I can't remember it. I only watched one season of that and I didn't hate it. Do you know or ever listen to Forrester B? That name sounds familiar on YouTube. I might have listened to her years ago. That name sound familiar, so I probably watched her years ago. Yeah, I'll look her up. Forrester B. Let me type it in my notes. Forrester B. Mm-hmm. Your coverage of polls is insightful, thoughtful, and a joy to listen to. Thank you, Angela. As a Generation X queer person, y'all discussion bring back a lot of memories for me. Yay! Ooh. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I miss life, love after lockup. Oh no. No. That is not my ministry. No. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. I'm trying to think of if I'm not watching anything that is I think like trash TV, like reality. Um, do I be watching TV like that? I listen to a lot of podcasts myself. I can't believe the Waterfords have stands. I can. You can't believe that, child. I can. They supposed to be shooting P Valley now. Work. I can believe the Waterfords have stands. I believe it. I do. I do. I believe it down. I was disappointed in that testimony scene. I like what she said. I just their interaction. I would have liked it to be more dramatic. My mom watches Love After Lockup. It is a strong no for me. The Baddie Brigade. Yes, I love all my Baddie Brigade folks. Um, T with Queen and J, Inner Whole Uprising, Bag Ladies. What's your favorite podcast right now versus what podcast you think more people need to listen to right now? I don't necessarily have to be different podcasts. Oh, everybody I just listed T with Queen and J, um, Inner Whole Uprising, Bag Ladies, Queer Walk. Queer Walk, I don't know if they're gonna come back. One of their hosts just passed away, Nikita. And um and I don't know if they're gonna come back, if she's gonna continue the show or how that works. Um, yeah, I don't know how that works, but their episodes are amazing. It is the mental moment with Money and the word with Nikita, and the mental moment. Just she is a doctor. She's literally a therapist. This is what she does. Is her profession, and she gives her expertise on things. Yeah, she gives her expertise on mental health and give you tips and tidbits, and then Nikita gives you education on socialism type stuff and dismantling oppression and systems and from a Marxist socialist perspective and just be on it. It's so good. Box 5112 is good. Yes, Brianna. I love Brianna and Samaya. I have had them both on our show. I think as far as Black trans podcast, if you're not listening to Marsha's Play, you should be listening to them. um, yes. Um, I like Gender Reveal. Gender Reveal is white, but it's educational. Um, if you're looking for gay men, Eat Thought Pray. Is it Eat Thought Play? Eat Thought something. Eat Thought Play or Eat Thought Pray or Eat something. And Him is really cute. And of course the Read. Um, what else? You know what? It's like it's not a guilty pleasure, but it's something that reminds me of my youth and triggers some type of comfort mentally in my brain. I listen to LeVar Burton's podcast. He's reading books like on Reading Rainbow, and it does something to my psyche and make me think about my childhood and make me feel so good and warming. LeVar Burton. um, yes. What else? What else? Did I miss something? Did I miss somebody? Child Sydney Star on Batty Atlanta is a mess. The comments are all transphobic. The shows, the times are still the same towards trans women. At least the rhetoric and echoes the same back in the day. I don't know how to pronounce your name because it's in Arabic, but whatever your name is, you are totally right. But just to be famous and just to be on the show, they put themselves in those positions. And so that's what happens. They're just trying to be famous. I would never be on that type of show as a trans woman. I would never be on that type of show. Even just to be on it. I would if I got the opportunity, I would never do that. I would love to be on TV. I would love to be on a reality show. But that caliber of reality show, I would never sign up for that. You got me fucked up. No, I'd rather be on my little platform being respected than that bullshit. Um Diamond, I have been meaning to ask you something and everyone else. What is the meaning of the brown and black stripes on the rainbow flag? Just more colors. It was added for to represent queer people, black and brown queer people. Um, just a more inclusive. When you see it, it's supposed to remind you that it's not just white gays; it is other gays. It's actually a black woman who created it. I don't remember her name, but she designed it. A black lesbian. Um, do why do I think Twilo is Serena's baby daddy? We know Commander Tulo. Who is Tulo? The white guy at the what at the thing? The white guy in Canada? No. You know Commander Waterford. was shooting blanks. Well, he might not have been shooting blanks. She did get shot in her uterus. It might have just been complications. I wish there were more podcasts that talk about SW. What is SW? SW. Why should it be something obvious? What's SW? Um, SW is sex work, right? Sex work. Is that what SW stand for? If you're looking for a podcast that if that's sex work, it is going to be Inner Whole Uprising. A lot of episodes. We talk about it too on our episodes too on Marshall's Plate. I actually have a series that I just started. If you are a member on my channel, um, called "The Tricks of the Trade," that is rooted in um, my sex worker experience. I just don't want that to be public. And so, because I go into detail and it's going to be demonetized. So I had to find a way to monetize it. And so, becoming a member on my channel give you access to those videos. And so, I'm going to go in um, tons of details about my sex work experience. So the first episode I put up was about the first tricks that I ever had, like ever in my life. The first time I had direct sex for money. And then the second episode is the first actual client, like from an ad that I actually took. And then you'll have to see what I talk about next. It's gonna be I'm talking about the good, the bad, the ugly. I love it. I love it. So yes, it's similar to my Love Beneath videos, except it's not talk. Love Beneath is talking about my experiences with like sex and men and love and relationships in my younger days prior to being 20. Prior to my adulthood. So like during my teens and my early years and all that. So that's what Love Beneath is about. Um, how do I subscribe to your private videos? On most of my videos, bottom it says join. Once you click join, it asks you. I don't. A lot of people have all those tiers where you can be a $5 member, $10 member. I only have one tier. If you pay for that one tier, you get all of them. uh, I'm not trying to be exploitive. That feels weird. Um, but yes, what I promise is that I will put up a video episode every month. That's what I'm trying to dedicate myself to do in regards to that series. Probably one or two every month once I'm thinking about what I want to do. But you click the join button next to subscribe to get access to videos you might have to view on another device browser if it doesn't show up. Yes. I don't know how that works, but yes, you just sign up and then that's what happens and you get access. And I try to my goal my goal is to do an episode the first week of every month. And of course, throughout I'm going to add I don't know, it seems redundant to add race to the orientation equation, although I see why it was added. Yeah, you would think it would be redundant, but how, you know, these white gays work. Um, it was very centered on white people. And so, yeah. This is it is a Maybelline. I have to look it up. Maybelline Lip Stay, and it is Super Stay Matte Liquid Lipstick, and it is the reddest of the red. Pioneer. It is called Pioneer. Yes, it is called Pioneer. Pioneer, Pioneer, Pioneer. It is called yeah, Super Stay Matte Lip Ink Lip Liquid Lipstick in Pioneer. Boop. I am 40. I turned 40 in February. Yes, the erasure of the role of black and brown people from the story of Stonewall, particularly trans women, is very real. I don't think now in the past 5 years we have been erased. I think people are definitely centering Marsha and Sylvia. I think the butch lesbian Stormy has definitely been erased, but prior to these past like 5 years, um, yeah, definitely was being erased. But I think that they've kind of finally in these past 5 years, 70 years later, um, 70 plus years later, because we just had a 50-year Stonewall. So in the 1990, 2019 was the 50-year anniversary of Stonewall. So yeah, 50 years later. Um, yeah, yeah. I think Marsha is. We know Marsha. You now people are mentioning Marsha when we talk about Pride and we talk about the history of Stonewall. People are mentioning you can't cut on your Instagram and not see Marsha P. Johnson in the conversation. Marsha P. Johnson, Bayard Rustin, and Audre Lorde and James Baldwin. What else? All right. Ooh, we coming up on honey 2:30. What else, y'all? We got. I'm gonna do to honey 8 more minutes, then we off. What else y'all want to talk about? What else? What else? What else is going on? That's not pose. I've been talking about pose all week. Probably why I have never got into the whole Harvey Milk. I think the Harvey Milk is amazing. I think it's. I don't think we should devalue the white stories because there is, ooh, the series Pride on FX. That 6-part series was really fucking good. There are some white people that can contribute to the culture, of course. The problem is that they were not they, but people were erasing the black narrative, and so that was the problem. It's not that we shouldn't talk about Harvey Milk because he was a staple, but it's important to have nuances about people, about the narrative of the queer voices and how Harvey, while yes, he was a badass, he did benefit from being a cisgender white gay in the Castro that oppressed a lot of brown people and pushed a lot of brown people out of the Castro. White gays moving there that pushed a lot, and they were racist as fuck. Not necessarily Harvey, but I'm sure probably somewhere, but white gays was racist as fuck at that Harvey was coming up. And so even in the conversation we talk about queerness, race played a part. But yes, Pride was so good. It was 3 parts. I mean, 3 parts on the first day and 3 parts on the next day. It was so good. Watch that. I watch it on Hulu. But because I have my live TV through Hulu, and so I watched it on FX through there. Mm. Was that Z in the chat yesterday? I wanted to say hello, but didn't want to interrupt the subject at hand. Yes, that was Z. Z only supports me when I'm talking to trans men. No, I'm joking. I just feel overwhelmed with the new rainbow flag simply because outside of the LGBT flag, you have, for example, bi, pansexual, asexual, leather, da da da, flags that are complicated enough to break down. Yeah, I'm not yeah, I don't get overwhelmed by complications. I think people are complicated, sexuality is complicated, nothing is going to be simplified. There's always going to be some elements of complication that somebody is going to find too complicated. Um but I also think things being complicated, not you in particular, I'm not talking about you. Um but things being complicated give people excuses to dismiss it. And so, yeah. I think we us as queer people, we hear that all the time, particularly trans people. We hear that all the time. Oh, I was down. I could get with the gay man and a gay woman, but y'all adding all this tranny stuff. Now y'all getting dated. Fast forward. Oh shit! What now? I understand the trans stuff, and now y'all want to come in with the they, them, and the non-binary stuff. Y'all just doing too much. You see what I'm saying? They give very. It's complicated. And if you go on our Instagram, we have a post that says recently we were like, this is what the post says. One second. A friendly reminder that you don't need to fully understand the nuances of gender identity. You can include the flag there. Replace gender identity with flag. To know that the individual person knows who they are better than you will. So and you don't need to understand every single aspect, every single nuance about a queer person's life, a trans person's life, a gay person's life, a bi person's life. You don't need to understand every single thing because sometimes it's going to be complicated for you to understand because it is not you or it is not your experience. And so, but that should not stop you from respecting people. It shouldn't stop you from trying. It shouldn't stop you from being involved with the process of change in the culture. Things are going to be complicated because sexuality is complicated by nature. This is partly why the Queen's English is such a treasure. Absolutely. The book, The Queen's English, is amazing. I did an interview with the author, and you can buy it. Um, go to that video, and it is linked in the description box. And it just describes everything. Actually, you're right, Diamond. But I guess my frustration is that everything is trying to get lumped together when you have sort of and unpack the issues of each community individual. I think that balancing that is a part of every single marginalized community. Think about, just take it out of gayness and think about it with women. Do you know how many different type of women are in the world? And when we're talking about women's issues, we have to um include and understand the nuances of both if we're going to try to create policies and protections that affect all of us. We got trans women, we got white women, we got Indian women, we got immigrant women, we got fat women, we got mental, disabled women, we got mental people with mental health disabilities. It's so many different types of women. And so when we lump them all together, sometimes it's going to complicate things, but we still have to figure it out if we want to be fair and we want to be just and we want to um, do what's right by women. You have to work throughout all those complications. And it's not going to happen immediately. But if you're dedicated to working through those complications, you're doing the work. And when you think about black people, we ain't all the same. Look about black people. We got black queer people. We got black Africans. We got black Latinas. We Afro Latinas. We got it's different people, different kind of black people. You feel what I'm saying? And so we all come from different backgrounds, different cultures, and we have to, when you're trying to liberate black people, you have to liberate us all. And that may be complicated. It can get complicated if you allow it to get complicated, but you got to do the work. That's a part of the work. But I think that's the hope, though. Isn't that the hope? Like, think about our ancestors. I know everybody be like, oh, here goes some slavery shit. But there was a time when it can be quite difficult to be hopeful to get out of the system of slavery. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, it was a time that there was no hope. And this what the scarecrows on the Wiz say. This is your life, buddy. All hung up. There was a time when, there was nothing else. There was nothing on the horizon. My job is to pick this motherfucking cotton, go in these motherfucking raggedy ass slave quarters, have some babies, and get up the next morning and pick the fucking cotton. That is my job. That is my life. There's nothing else. And so the hope comes with that, fuck this shit. I know this can't be my life. This can't be the rest of my life. Do you know how big think about Frederick Douglass, think about you know, Harriet, all those classic people. What they were up against was complicated as fuck, but they still did what they had to do. They were a part, they were a drop of the change that to move forward. The abolitionists, the it's just so many layers. It's so complicated, but you got to have hope and you got to do your particular part in your particular area. If we're trying to dismantle capitalism, it's going to look different in the South. It's going to, you're out, Deneen, you're out in the West. It's going to, you in California, girl. Do you know how much privilege it is to be living in California, even with the high ass cost of living? There's so many things that if you go to come to Texas or you come to Mississippi or you come to Alabama, that you probably don't even think that you have to deal with. It seems like it would come second nature to you because y'all got so many privileges out there. And negative too. I'm not saying y'all just sitting high on the hog either. But if you compare it to other states, there's some things that you're not even thinking about. That you can go to Kaiser and get some type of health care. There's some places here we can't get shit. It's so many things. So things can be complicated, but the hope is not hoping that you can affect it in some kind of way and push us in the direction. I think that's what we all are doing. That's why I've been doing videos for 12 years. I don't have a big audience, but I get people telling me every month, oh, I listened to you when I was this age and now I'm doing this. So what I don't care whatever little drop that I add to pushing that hope forward, that's what I want to do. So and I hope you do too. But all right, y'all, we are at 2:34, and y'all know I hate going over 2 o'clock, 2 hours. But yeah, make sure y'all thumbs up. Make sure y'all if you want to join the membership for I have 2 episodes up of the tricks with the trade. That is up. You can join Marsha's Play. All the links are down in the bottom. The podcast there. Let me think of anything. Let me look at my schedule. Just think of anything that's coming up. Oh, I forgot about this. I actually got featured in Out magazine. Um, let me see if I can find it. Out magazine, Outsmart, and they took some sickening pictures of the doll, honey. Y'all tell me what y'all think about these pictures. They are so cute. Oh, come on, Brandon. You be on it. Yes. So yes, I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I saw a trans appreciation post. Oh, thank you. Did you tag me? Make sure you tag me if you see me and stuff that I don't know about so I can show whoever does it, give me a love. Um, yes, I was in I got featured in it's a Houston magazine here that has like 200 and something K um folks, and they featured me, did a beautiful photo shoot. I felt so sickening. I felt so cute. I had on gold and my legs was out. I was looking big. And the interview was amazing. They asked me just to share. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, it just was an amazing experience with the writer of the article and with the photographer. I've never had a photographer that made me feel like super comfortable like he did. It was amazing. I'm going to see him. We got a photo shoot for myself. That was for the magazine, but I went ahead and gave him some coins, baby, because he made me feel so sickening. I'm gonna go I have a photo shoot with him on the 9th. But yes, 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 God. But yes, what else? So I did that. What is happening? Yeah, it's so much. Make sure you are following us on Marsha's Play on um Instagram. That's where I post all my events or anything that we're doing. I'm gonna be there. This is June, so it's tons of events coming up. So make sure you following us on there. That's where I put all the flyers. You can follow me, Diamond Styles, on Instagram. Um, I just be post my personal Instagram. I just be posting random shit. It don't have a it's just me and random shit I want to post. But I'm more active into the activist space on Marsha's Plate. So yeah. Um, what else? That's it. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Thumbs up and subscribe and like and all that kind of good stuff. I will see y'all next Friday. Bye bye. Don't miss my comment. I didn't see it. What comment? And on Facebook? What comment? Scroll up. That's true, Diamond. I'm doing work every day and I'm just speaking out of wanting to know more. Oh yeah, I read that. Yeah, I understand it. I understand. I know you because we've been talking and engaging for years. I've met you in person. um, yeah. But yes. I understand. I just was more explaining to people who may be watching. But all right. I will talk to y'all later. Be good.